Hi, I'm Kat, the Apprentice Maven, and I know some things and I'll teach you, but I don't know a lot more things and I'll teach me too. Mostly though, we're gonna have fun. Let's go. So, Christmas is complicated because COVID and stuff. So, we originally thought that we wouldn't be able to spend Christmas with my family like we usually do. Fortunately, we recently gathered a plan together where we get to spend time at Christmas. But before we knew that that was going to be a possibility, quarantining and COVID tests and all that stuff, I had started to figure out what we would do if it was just my hubby and me here at the house. Unfortunately, we can't have a Christmas tree because I have a cat who, fortunately, he doesn't seem to want to climb the tree, but he does eat the tree. Like, it doesn't seem to matter if it's fake or real, he will chomp on the needles. He's a cat. Anyway, so I devised a possible solution. So even though we get to spend Christmas with my family, I'm still gonna make my cat-friendly Christmas tree. So let's get started. That is where the new cat-friendly tree is gonna go. So here is the plan. We're gonna start with white muslin. This is just very cheap muslin. People often use it for mock-ups and things like that. And then on top of that, we're gonna put this green netting. And to outline our tree, I'm going to use this freaking adorable ribbon I found at Joann. And I'm going to use that to outline the tree shape, and then this is going to fill in that shape for us. So I'm going to use that. How freaking cute is that? Just saying. And then I also got some LED lights. Did not know when I bought them that there are a variety of settings for these lights, which is kind of cool. And all of that is going to be held up with a tension rod, just like you would get for like a shower curtain or something like that. I got some garland and some ornaments, and hopefully it's just going to be really pretty and not at all crappy looking, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Did I mention that this is an experiment and I don't know what I'm doing? This is an experiment. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so off camera, I measured the width of the alcove that the tree is going to go in, and now I have to make sure that my muslin is going to fit inside of it. So this is doubled over right now, and I'm seeing that it is 22.5-ish inches, which means that the total width of the fabric from selvage edge to selvage edge is 45 inches. So I'm going to need to, first, before I do anything else, I'm going to need to fold these over and stitch them down. Then I'm going to make the pocket for the tension rod to go in.
Future Editing Cat here with a quick pro tip. If you have a seam allowance that's difficult to see on your machine, take a piece of painter's tape and put it on the plate. And that way you can run your fabric right along the edge of the painter's tape, making it much easier to see. I have already pinned my seam down in the place, and now I'm just stitching it down. So I finished stitching the side seams down, and I pressed down the raw edge of the top where the pocket's going to go for the tension rod. Now I could have just measured the diameter of the tension rod, but quite frankly, this way is a heck of a lot easier. Now that I have that measurement, I'm just going to pin that right in place so it doesn't move. And then I'm taking my seam gauge to figure out exactly what that measurement is. And quite frankly, I don't care what it actually measures because my seam gauge will make sure that I have the same measurement all the way across. And now I'm stitching the pocket down so I can put it on the tension rod.
I have sewn the pocket, this is the back side, for the tension rod. So here she is, and now we get to see if she fits. Oh. It fits. Awesome. Okay, now I just need to figure out exactly how long it needs to be because I bought 2 yards of muslin and netting and everything else because I didn't know how much I was going to use. I knew it wasn't going to be quite 2 yards, but I knew it was going to be more than 1 yard. So I will measure that now. All right, so I'm thinking I want it to end there-ish. Yeah. Okay, so what I failed to take into account when I did this was that this ribbon that I picked doesn't like to bend around corners. Like it doesn't really like to do that. It kind of comes up. So what I did was I took a little piece of it and I snipped the bottom here a couple places, and I found that it pretty much will bend kind of as much as I want. And lucky for me, there's enough friction between the muslin and the felt this ribbon is made out of that it'll pretty much hold it in place. So I feel confident about that. I've also marked the center of the muslin with these pins because I'm a really bad judge of center, and that'll help me make sure that it's sort of more or less symmetrical. I don't care too much if it's matchy because trees aren't. They don't do that. So, but it would be nice if it were semi-symmetrical. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do to make sure it doesn't look like crap and I don't end up wasting a whole lot of my ribbon is to mark it out with this string. I don't know how well you can see that. And just mark where I want the tree branches to be. And then hopefully that will give me some idea of what I'm dealing with. And yeah, I'm sewing because this is the hard part, the whole creative thing. The sewing the straight lines, that was easy. But this is the hard part. So you know what, let's just jump in. Okay, that's not my favorite, but it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. It's not symmetrical, and I'm kind of good with that. I do want to fix this a little bit though. All right, you know what? I think I can live with that. So now I just need to figure out how to transfer all of that over to, oops, I need a bottom. Haha. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to transfer the markings to the fabric using this water-soluble pen. I really like this one because it's you just put a little water on and it's gone. So it shouldn't show, but even if it does, all I'll have to do is get it a little bit damp and then problem solved anyway. So off we go. Whoops. Man. Cat. Party foul. Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna leave the bottom kinda, no I'm not. Looks in the neighborhood okay. I will take it, except for this. See, I'm not great at this. Okay. All right, yay. So now it is time to place the felt ribbon that I'm actually going to use onto the lines that I just made and pin it all in place and see how it goes. Here we go. I already did the top 2 bows and the first one of these, and I realized that it's much easier to do these vertical ones and then come back and do the horizontal ones afterwards. So that is what I am going to continue to do. My very, very precise measuring technique, right? About that much. Yeah, go me. Okay. I mean, it looks a little like a pagoda, but I can live with this. This is good. I can do this. Now that that is all pinned in place, which by the way took way too long, it is time to put on the netting. So I got some green netting. Yeah, there you. Some green netting that I'm hoping will fit and cover the whole area. Oh yes, that is beautiful. So and what I'll do is I'll cut out the tree shape so that just this part is covered in netting. And this is what the ornaments are going to hang from when the tree is up. So wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, so off screen, I weighed down my netting with my super sophisticated weight system. These are actually pattern weights, but I only had 8, so whatever you've got. I mean, you do what you gotta do. So now what I'm going to do is cut around the outside edges. I'm gonna leave myself a little bit of space just in case. But after that's cut out, I'm gonna tuck the ends underneath the trees to kind of hide the edges a little bit. And to keep everything flat and all in the same place that it is right now, I also ran some running stitches along through the muslin and the netting, just again to keep everything in place. So cross your fingers for me. Here we go, folks. Okay. No going back now. I'm going to trim this up a little bit later. I just kind of want to give it a rough cut so it's not dragging all over the place. There we go. All right, not too shabby. Now, all that's left to do is stitch it down. Okay, so what I did not do that I should have done is put down the netting first and then put these on top. So I'm going to go about lifting up the netting, unpinning this, putting the netting back down and then pinning it back on top. And then I'll be able to hand stitch around the inside of the ribbon on the netting to get the netting in place. And then I'll be able to go back and stitch down the ribbon on top of it and it'll look nice and neat. And people with long hair, have you ever had one of those moments where you're like, something's tickling my arm? And it could be hair or it could be a bug. It's almost always hair. Almost always. Today it was hair. All right, let's go. Right, so that's finally done. So I finally finished hand stitching all of the trim down, all of the ribbon down. I made sure to, when I was doing a whip stitch, to catch the netting in there. So it would be a nice clean stitch, wouldn't be, too messy, wouldn't be too visible. So that's done, and now it's time to take out the stay stitching. So let's do that. I have to admit, that is really satisfying. So I got this LED light set that I was hoping would be good for this project. I didn't realize how long it was, so now this is what they look like. See that? That's what they look like. So I have now placed the lights, and I started stitching them on. All I'm doing is picking up a little bit of the netting and the muslin underneath, and just running the thread through enough to make a knot, tie it down, just to make sure that the lights don't move too much. So yeah, this is taking 8,000 years. The lights are attached, so it's time to put it up and see how it looks. Yikes. Okay. Here we go. Oh. That's pretty great. So now she just needs a tree skirt. She needs some ornaments, which I have some, and my mom is gonna lend me some more. And I had originally got some garland to put on there, but I think it might be a little too busy. I'll know after I get the ornaments on. I think I do want to attach that bottom cord from the lighting because it's kind of pulling on the left side there, but I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah. Hi, this is Editing Cat and Fender. He is the reason for that. He is the offending feline who likes to eat trees, so be free. As you can see, I have ornaments on my tree, non-breakables near the bottom, of course. Unfortunately, I ordered some fabric for a tree skirt. It did not come. The wrong fabric came. Not sure what happened there, but the right fabric is on its way. I just don't have a tree skirt yet. But in the meantime, I have a tree and I'm happy. Happy holidays. Intros are hard. Okay. All right. The heck do I want to say? I ordered fabric and the wrong fabric came. So, oop.